Jade, your hair's so long.
Yeah, it's been growing this year.
Oh my God, that's like amazing. I know Cheryl showed us her hair and it was like, oh my God. So anyway, welcome. We'll just start in a couple minutes.
Cool.
I'm recording already I think I'm recording. Yes, recording. How's Perth? Jake, do you know?
Supposed to be sunny.
Do you know Tamara? Tamara, part of our team, and she's over there in Perth as well. I don't know if you know Tamara. So
I think we've met at one of the conference galas or something. I'm pretty sure.
cool. Well, we are going to get started in just a second. Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's from my car. My husband made me run out and get these. I don't know what it was. He told me if I didn't get it, I was in big trouble. So I had to run out and get these pumpkin seeds from. I had to go to this. Only one store had these special pumpkin seeds. So kind of funny. I'm going to mute Lauren. Hello, Lauren. You're muted. Goodbye, Lauren. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to tonight's event, our YOLO International Weekly event. Super excited. Man, Jade, I think I remember when I first met you. But before we get started, I just want to, just a couple reminders for everybody. Tomorrow, what we are doing is we are doing a monthly Start Strong call, and not just from our team, but we have as an amazing sideline friend of mine. Her name is Karen Smith. She's been in the business about 16 years. She's a 100 Club member that lives in Florida. That event, check the time because we had to move the time by an hour. But I would encourage you guys to jump on just so that you can see that, concepts are constant, techniques vary, but she has a very, very strong business that is consistent and continues to grow. So I would encourage all of you guys to jump on. That's the same Zoom number. You are welcome, Jade. Anybody from your team, you're also welcome to join in if you'd like, or come and join us as one of the Start Strong calls. And really what we focus on is that, we're in business. And I think sometimes we tend to forget that we're actually in business to grow a business. And what do we really need to do to grow a strong business? So that's tomorrow. It's the first Tuesday of every month. And once again, we have different NMDs that are on from around the world, just sharing their basic, what do they do to help get people started strong? And you'll see the rhythm that everybody has. I also so we do that. And then we do this call. So those of you that don't know me, my name's Lauren Lahav. I said it took me 17 years to say yes to the Juice Plus business. I have been in the business for 13 years now. And very blessed. We have an amazing, beautiful community around the world. Even though she's not able to be on the call tonight, I wanted to congratulate Carolina over in Poland. Her team had 45 new partners join the team, which is really big considering the size of Poland as well. So she's just been hustling along with her team and just, letting people know that what it truly is available. So it took me a long time to, as I said, to say yes to this. But when I finally, smartened up 13 years ago, it was the best day of my life. And every day, top of my list is Jeff Roberti, because he was what I would call patiently persistent with me. He let me, kind of go through all my ego stuff and finally go, wow, who could I help and who could I serve with this business? So tonight, I would encourage you to just press the reset button. Press the reset button and act like this is your first time even hearing about our amazing company. And if you don't know about the history of the company started 50 years ago by a guy named Jay Martin. He's still active with the company. He was actually just on our Take Action Tuesday call last week. And Jay is all about helping other people be able to say yes to their lives. And and he's all about contribution. So they started with the smoke detectors in the early, days. Then they created the first carbon water filter. and then they did air filters, and then they came up with Juice Plus. So we have an amazing company, and we have the Tower Gardens now. But tonight we have a special guest. But before we get to our special guest, I'd like to congratulate two people. One's on the call, and one is not on the call, but she'll be hearing. We have a new QSSC, and her name is Cynthia Mears, and she is well on her way to SSC. She just needs to wait this 1 month, and she'll be SSC. And then we got the big news that Perth is on the map. And where is our girl? That Tamara and her team just went SSC. So congratulations, Tamara. Woo, Tamara. And just growing a beautiful community over there as well. So congratulations, Tamara, for going SSC with your team. And I know what you're doing, because this business is all about duplication. And when we help others do well, we do well. So really think about, who do you know, love, and care about that, might want to just be able to say yes to send their kids to a court. Whoops, we've got Lauren, we got you. If you guys could mute your lines. So anyway, without further ado, I really like to just move on into the call. And tonight, all the way as well from Perth, Australia, we have Jade Baxter. And gosh, I really remember sitting around a table with you, Jade, and I just remember us just talking and just what this vision, what Juice Plus could really mean for you. And back then when you got started, and I know you'll share about it, but it was, I would kind of say it's the jungle tour, right? It wasn't, not everybody knew about it over there. You guys had to lay the strong foundation, you, Linda, Fee, and Tamara Hunter, all of those guys. You just did a lot of work to build momentum, where you kind of made Juice Plus a household name. So she is an IMD. She celebrates 8 years with Juice Plus in September 2020 was her 8 years. She's super passionate about magnifying the magic within ourselves and our world, and designing the living in an aligned and inspired life. And she lives it. Truly, truly, truly. So I'm going to kind of pass it over to you just to share your story and share your magic tonight.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm really excited to spend, it's the morning for me here, and I'm really excited to spend some time with you guys. Massive congratulations to those couple of amazing people as well that reached new promotions. It's so exciting. I feel like those moments are just, you want to really feel those, because they make everything like all the more beautiful, and they're such a reflection of all the lives you're touching. So I'm such a big fan of celebrating those moments.
Hey, Jade, let me ask you a question. Yeah. Let me ask you a question first. Do you remember the first time, how you felt when the first person on your team reached, let's say, SSC? Do you remember the first person to reach SXC? Maybe share about that moment, because I think that, when people hear it, they're like, yeah, whatever. But how did you feel when that first person reached SSC, and what did it mean for your commitment to the business even?
I feel like your team hitting promotions is a billion times more impactful than when you reach your own promotions. Like, it's fun when you're like, cool, I did it. And it's this great sense of belief and like an anchoring of, oh my gosh, I can actually do this. But when somebody, like when you are a dream keeper of somebody and you hear why they want to do it, and whether that's, I remember for me, one of my first SSCs, she was a single mama, and she was really passionate about building a lifestyle for her and her daughter. And like hearing those stories and all the emotion behind them as well. And then when that happens and they reach that goal, and you see the belief that you've had in that person, you see them actually feel that in themselves, it's honestly priceless. And I feel like we don't talk enough about the emotional revenue in this business. Like, oh my gosh, there is so much financial abundance available, but the emotional revenue, like those feelings and the words, I love Facebook, because you get those time hop memory things pop up, and I can see some of the posts I've done for others when they've hit their promotions, or, where I've been tagged in something and someone's celebrating, and it's just so special. So special. It's what makes this profession so magic.
So I think that's a really great thing to talk about, that emotional revenue. with regards to things and why during those business. I don't think, I mean, it was a lot of, I mean, it was fun, but it was a lot of, you guys kind of took a lot of swords, if you would, I think, back 8 years ago. Can you talk a little bit about when you were pioneering over there 8 years?
I've kind of lost you a little bit. I don't know if it's my end or yours.
And then when someone did reach a promotion, you there, Jade?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yep, I've
Go
got
ahead.
you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can now. Sorry. What were you asking me? I'm so sorry.
So, 8 years ago, you guys were really laying the foundation. Juice Busted, was just kind of like starting to hop up again. And you guys were kind of pioneers, took a lot of swords. But then what it was like when somebody reached that promotion, even though it was tough, if you would. Can you share a little bit about that emotional revenue and what kept you going?
Yeah, absolutely. I honestly think, I mean, I started this business I think I was 22. I had never heard of Juice Plus, and I was working in the fitness industry. So what I think worked so well for us, and that it really got me in that place of like unshakable, I'm in this, I'm building this, I can see what's possible. That was the culture and the community. Like, events were all together and they were so regular and consistent. Everybody celebrated every milestone, whether that was a new customer, whether that was someone adding on to their order, whether that was someone reaching a promotion. Like, everything was celebrated, and we're constantly like training ourselves to look for the wins and to celebrate those. And it was about community. So everyone was pouring in and showing up. And I remember one of my first events, it was like, you just bring a plate and rock up to this house. I think we had like 150 people in this backyard. And I was like so nervous because I was thinking, what do I bring to these things? And I don't know, I've never been to a health event. And it was just so exciting. And everyone was introducing everyone to everybody. And I just think that community and that sense of like, I'm not doing this on my own, that's what made everything so much more fun, so much more achievable. And then on the tough days, because let's be real, especially when you're going, like, every promotion has its own challenges and its own lessons, but the jump to SSC back then was such a huge growth, and you really had to like learn some big leadership lessons and step into some real opportunities to grow. So that in particular, like, just knowing you had your people around you and that you could show up and be part of something, I think that's what really made all the difference.
And so how do you keep that going now? Like, you've kept that going for 8 years, and then I'll let you talk. I just wanted to ask you a few questions and you share whatever magic you were going to share. But, during these times, I mean, like you said, you started when you were 22, right? So that was, you were a pioneer there as well, because there weren't a lot of younger people, that growth of the millennials, and some came, some stayed, but you stayed. So share a little bit, if you would, a little bit about how you keep that culture going and why it's so important.
Yeah. I mean, being online is so beautiful, but you really do have to cultivate that connection. It's so easy because there's just so much coming at you, so much information. We absorb so much. And so something that I always am really mindful of is, how can I make sure that people feel really appreciated, really seen? And, obviously we show up on group calls and I can see everyone's faces and things, but how do I like still have those one-on-one relationships as well? And especially, like, I always think about this at Christmas, because I have a team here in Perth, but I also have a team all over Australia, and New Zealand's really popping, and we have a team in the UK. And so it's like, how do I make sure that we include all of these people too? And at Christmas, the girls here are like, let's have a Christmas party. And I'm like, yes, but we also have to do something as a like collective. So we started, and each year we do like a Christmas card swap. So everyone puts their names in, and then we each get to like send a card. And sometimes it's going over the other side of the world and they've never spoken to that person in the team before, or it's how sideline buddies are made. It's how we have just been able to, like, just little things like that. That's how we have been able to keep that culture and community alive and make sure that everyone is feeling like they're part of something bigger.
Oh my God, I love that. I love that. So what was it that you wanted everybody to I know that Claudine called you. What was it that you feel that people need to remember as they head into this 2021, or how do they finish 2020 strong and go into 2021 with so much conviction? What would you say?
So for me, I feel like the closer I am to myself and the more clear and connected I am with myself, the more aligned, the more authentic I feel, the bigger my business becomes and the more fun it is to be in business and the more I'm able to connect with my audience better. And so when Claudine asked me to kind of share some of my social media tips, I was like, it always comes back to you. And so right now is a really gorgeous time to reflect on the year that's been. What have you loved? What have you maybe learned? What are you still in that like learning phase of? What are you wanting to hone in on and focus on and get clearer on? But also, what are you calling in? Like, what do you want more of? What do you want your voice of your business to say? What do you want people to feel when they spend time in your company? And obviously, with everything that's gone on in 2020, online is such a big way that people interact with your business. For some of us, in some months, it's been the only way people have been able to interact with our business. And so you have this epic opportunity to utilize social media. But I think people get so overwhelmed by it. And sometimes, especially around this time of year, they're just like, where do I even start? What am I doing? And so for me, the way I look at it is that it's an extension of you. It's an extension of who you are. And so if you are starting to, I was observing this in myself yesterday. I'm buying Christmas presents at the moment. I'm spending a bit more time online in that way. Like I've been like ordering a few things here and there. So if you can start to look at how do I shop online? What do I love looking at? What content stops me in my tracks? I can be doing something. And if someone like does a Christmas tree time lapse and they're putting up their Christmas tree, or like yesterday, I don't even have children, right? And yesterday I somehow got caught up watching this mama pack these beautiful Christmas Eve boxes for their kids. And she just had the camera up, like resting on it was obviously on a tripod or something. And she was like putting in this beautiful Christmas stuff. And then she had a book going in there and there was a coloring book and there was new Christmas pajamas. And there was like a really gorgeous hot chocolate mix. And I was like, I can't wait to do that for my children. Or I feel like maybe I could do that for my sister. And like, what do you enjoy watching this time of year? What is like moving you closer to people? I don't even know this person on Instagram that I was watching, but I was like, love this lady. She's fabulous. So how can, like, that's what we're working towards, right? We want people to be able to connect and feel our essence, understand who we are and what, you know, our heart and what we are standing for. And we want them to be able to know, like, and trust us. So Christmas is a really gorgeous time. December is a really beautiful time to be able to cultivate that. So I'd be looking at your habits and what you enjoy, because here's the thing, for most people, they're the people they're wanting to influence and inspire are usually one of two things. They're either you, but a couple of steps behind on the path. Maybe because they haven't discovered the products and started that health journey yet, or they haven't like realized that this business model and this opportunity and this company exists. So they're a version of you. So they'll have a lot in common with you. You'll be able to, like, if you like something, chances are they probably will too. And the other side of it is they're either behind a couple of steps or they're running alongside you, but without the tools that you have. So they're doing like motherhood, but like without nutrition running through their body or soft chews for their kids, or they're doing like building their life in their 20s and 30s, but without having that second form of income and that community and that support and that empowerment alongside them. So you then, same boat, there's still a version of you in some respects. And so you have this really easy ability when you think about it to be able to tap in, and what excites and inspires and like really engages you is very likely to engage them as well. So that would be my biggest piece of advice, is have a little look, take a few minutes and think about what is really lighting me up and how could I recreate my version of that? How could I perhaps, if you love stories, maybe it's like You really enjoy reading people's stories. Okay, how can I retell my story? It's a reflective time of year. People love hearing about the lessons you've learned, or the triumphs, or the biggest challenges you've overcome, or
Oh my God, you've come up with like 20 posts just right now in the last somebody's gotta capture this. Mo, hopefully you can capture this, but because that's great. Because you said, like, what are you, let's go back, because there's a bunch that you said so much. I don't know if you guys are hearing it all, but you said, what were some of the lessons that I learned this year? Then you said, what are some of the what are some of the things to reflect on from the year? What were some of the other things that you guys heard her say but that were really powerful? And you just said, how can I retell my story again? What were some of the other things? She was going like a gazillion miles a minute. So
I've got so many ideas for Christmas. It's like my favorite holiday. I mean, think
right.
about, guys, you get to ask, you could do some really engaging polls around, like, how do people spend their Christmases? Do they put the tree up before December? Do they keep it up in January? Where are people buying their gifts? What are people doing for their dads? Or what are people buying their sisters? Or, posts around, we have the 12 days of Christmas, like 12 recipes of Christmas. You could have, oh my gosh.
So let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about how these things have also helped you build your business. Let's talk about something that you've done, an engagement post, so that people can see it's not just, that they're just like, oh, wow, people are really coming back and taking interest. Can you share about one of those stories, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I feel like, so lately what I've been doing that's been starting so many conversations is, because I'm buying everyone Christmas gifts, I'm also buying a few for myself, because why not? And so I'm sharing what I'm grabbing myself. Yesterday, I got this brand new, beautiful, amazing hydrogen drink bottle situation. The other day, I bought myself these beautiful body oils, and they're all natural. And so it leads me really easily into talking about self-care, into talking about how I look after myself. And I've been on a big journey, and it's about adding in little things. And so then they're asking me questions about these things. They're like, well, where did you start? And I get to share about the capsules. I literally had a girl yesterday. She was like, I just don't even know where to start when it comes to my health. These are all such cool gifts, but like, I don't know if I could do them all. I'm like, wicked. I did like 6 years of just this. Start here. So
right.
Something so simple in just sharing like that part of your journey and where you're at. I feel like reflective posts around New Year's always bring, the goal for me isn't, I don't think it's one post that is, I think people put so much pressure on that one post being the post that's going to blow your business up. It's such a moving billboard, and you're constantly just bringing people closer to you. So for me, if people are just getting to know me more and I'm having conversations like I would at a Christmas party, you can't sell someone without even knowing their name and what they're about. You got to get to know them. So that's my goal over Christmas, is just bonding with my audience.
Can you talk a little bit about like the consistency of things, or what you've seen with regards to consistency, and why that's important, or is it not important? What would you say?
I find consistency so challenging. I'm big on human design, and my human design is like inconsistent as it comes, but there is like some consistency in my inconsistency. So the thing for me is, I think the day of just get a post out there every day is dead. I would rather miss a day and the next day post something that is so from my truth. Like, back in the day, social media, you could post 3 times a day and it was just like, be seen, get out there. But I think people are craving real talk. They're craving that alignment. They want to feel your personality, hear your viewpoints. That whole, like, I'm looking for 3 people to join my team, it's Wi-Fi and a dream, is just gone now. And instead, people want to know, like, this is what I mean when I say get to know yourself, like, as much as you can, as consistently as you can. Because here's the thing, when you really get why these products, when you get why the business, like for you, for me, I think it's like the most epic way to honor yourself. It's such a deep dose of self-care every morning. It reminds me of why I look after myself, and it sets the tone for my whole day. But for other people, it could be like children's health study is just what lights your world up. It could be the fact that the athletic recovery, it could be the simplicity. Like, you've got to find what it is that lights you up about the products and the business, and then talk that stuff through your stories, through your posts, because people don't care about the generic stuff. People want the stories, and they want you.
I love it. Oh my God, I could listen to you for like 100 days. So good, so real, so raw, so awesome. So does anybody have any question? Anything else you wanted to add? Maybe share about your journey other than you started when you were 22. Anything else you want to share, or anything to do to get them to realize they've got the golden ticket, as I say?
You really
Anything that you want to share?
Really do have the golden
We really
ticket.
do. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I started this at 22. I had no idea I was looking for this. So many of the people that you're going to attract into your business have no idea it even exists. I just happened to be, I was at a crossroads in my life. I was working corporate. I wanted to be working in fitness. I didn't have the guts to leave the cushy salary and step into the unknown. I didn't have those role models around me. I didn't have those empowering examples. I was just trying to intuitively get out of what didn't feel right and head towards what did. And a friend saw me drowning in work and study and exhaustion and just said, come check out these products. She didn't even think to share the business with me. I don't even think she comprehended what the business was. And so it was that night that I met my sponsor, Tracy Biggins, became like instant best friends, have been ever since. And I always think back and I'm like, you know, what the heck if I hadn't of followed that intrigue, followed that curiosity? What if I hadn't like taken the time to hear that message, like for my health, but also for everybody else? And so when I'm talking to people, that's what I keep in the back of my mind. It's like, you're going to have people, of course, they're going to come straight to you and get it, but you're also going to have people that don't know what they don't know yet. So it's your job to kind of lead the way for them and show them through your example what's possible here.
It's amazing. I'm like sitting here. I'm like, this is one of my favorite calls. I love it. Are you there?
I am here.
I mean, I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. So Tracy, Tracy, look at me, got me going on. I would love for you to pick a number between 1 and 19.
Okay. Do you want me to tell you out loud?
Yep, out loud.
Okay. 12.
Okay, hang on. 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Sunur, who is your upline? Who's your sponsor? Sunur?
It's Tamara.
Tamara? Well, guess what, Sunur? You just won a ticket to the virtual GoPro event that's worth $297 US. So
how awesome.
Oh my God, thank you.
So that was, you can thank Jake because she's the one that picked number 12. So I will get your name on the list, and you've won a ticket for the 3 days of the GoPro event. And Jade, you were amazing. Does anybody have any questions for her, or just want to thank her for an amazing event? And I'll make sure to put the recording up. Anybody? Any questions, comments?
I just want to say thank you. I have lots of notes. Thank you so much for everything you shared tonight.
You're so welcome.
Awesome. Any last tip for everybody? Anything you say before we head on out?
I never have a last tip. I feel like I could keep talking forever. I would just say,
you can.
Have fun with it.
Yeah, have fun with the ride. I hope you could join us again. I'd love to have you join us again. Anytime. I would encourage everybody to please jump on the call right now, Cheryl Cortese's call, because it's with Dr. Tamara Sachs. And it will be probably one of the best calls of the year as well. We started this whole time with Tamara, giving great advice to stay healthy within this whole change happening. And I would encourage you to jump on the call and bring any guests on the call. So thank you, Jade. It was awesome.
You're
Bye,
welcome.
guys.
See you guys.
Bye. Bye. 33:49.